came out in your schedule that you've really got your eye on?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we expected, right? I mean, I think we again playing a very tough conference. I mean, that's basically the life we're living here in the league from the beginning. I think every winner of this league came out of our conference. First of all, it was us, then Vienna, then Rheinfire. So we used to play the better teams, but to be honest, that makes you better and that prepares you for the playoffs. I always say when you go through a tough conference and you qualify for the playoffs, you know you're ready to win it. If you have the easy road, maybe talking about Vienna last year, then they facing the first tough team in the semifinal, and then sometimes you're not used to it, you know. And I know you, Nick, you know it from the back in the days when you played the New York Alliance. I think you needed 3-4 games against them to beat them finally. We needed
Exactly.
3-4 games against them to beat them, and you need that competition on the highest level. So it's a tough conference, but we're used to it, and I love it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a great point. When you have that, when you have kind of the easy regular season, like exactly what we faced back in the GFL days, it's really tough to turn it on then in the playoffs. So that's a great point. It's just the teams that come out of the Western Conference with you guys, these are battle tested teams. I think most people would say that this is the strongest conference.
Coach.
Yeah, I would say too, but I have to say the league did a really good job with the schedule. I think when you see how Berlin is playing and who Berlin is playing and Wroclaw, they all playing the top Western Conference teams and Stuttgart. So really the conference is not really the most important thing. It's really the whole schedule that counts because you need to have a 9-3, 8-4 season to qualify, I think.
Right.
Coach, what do you think needs to happen to finally get over that hump and beat the Rhine Fire?
Just playing hard, tough football, and then at one time it will happen. I mean, I'm not into this too much. I mean, I know when we're talking about our battles with Schwäbisch Hall, I mean, we lost every game, but I'm sure Nick and I agree there were 1 or 2 games where we could easily win it. I mean, talking about the German ball maybe or another game. So at the end, a loss is tough and a loss is a loss, but it's not always like, wow, this team has your hand or this team always beats you. It's just be consistent in working hard, be consistent in playing tough football, and at one point you will beat any team.
Yeah, that's a great point. My question, I'm really curious about, back in the GFL days, Frankfurt would always beat those teams from Cologne or that area. Where did all these players from Rhine Fire come to make them so strong?
Yeah, I think first of all, they put together an all-star team last year. I mean, their roster was built, I don't know, in a special way, especially the O-line. And I think that was the biggest difference to any other team. This offensive line was so good. They protected Jadrian so much. He had so much time, and it was so tough to play against them for 4 quarters. So they had an edge on the maybe weakest position in all of Europe. And that was the key to them. So I would say it all started and finished with the offense line. The skill positions, in this league, every team has great skill players. I mean, of course, Rheinfire has Tony Mahungu. They have Quofi, of course, and Pedersen. But what can we say? Stuttgart has these 3 receivers who have 1,000 yards. We had Reese Horn, Nico Straman. So that's a great thing about the league. You have so much talent, but it starts with the offensive line, and it's still going to be the decisive factor, I think, this year.
No,
Coach,
that's a great point.
Big change at quarterback this year for you guys. Obviously, Jacob Sullivan out. Luke Zaraka coming up from Italy. He is in. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the thought process and the reasoning for this quarterback change? Why was it time to move on from Jacob, and why is Luke Frankfurt guessing?
Yeah. First of all, Jacob is such a great guy and a great quarterback, and we are so thankful for the time. I mean, the first championship and everything. But sometimes, I mean, it was now 3 years in a row we worked together. Sometimes you feel you maybe changed a little bit here and there. You're not totally on the same page. That goes both ways. So maybe we too are not so 100% happy with the things that working on, and then you have to make a decision. But I'm so happy that he landed in Berlin. I'm pretty sure he's going to ball out. But for us, it was time to move forward, to make a change, to go maybe in a little different direction from an offense system. What we did then was signing Markel too, to maybe be having more the stretch player with a big arm quarterback like Luke, right? So this is basically this. It's not a big point, not a drama. It's more the thing that happens over 3 years, when at one point it's like in a relationship, you maybe think, hey, let's have a fresh start and let's move on.
Yeah, that's great. Why Luke specifically?
I know Luke long, and I think Silas, we played then 2017, right? And I cannot help myself as a DC. Whenever I played Luke, he impressed me. 2017 at Milan, I looked at tape, I watched him playing against us. I was like, this is a great quarterback. Then even this year with Milano, he was a great quarterback. He put 33 points on us. He has a presence in the pockets. He's staying tall. He has a great arm. And he has a great character. I've always been in touch with him. We had a good conversations here and there every year and talking a little bit. So it was so funny, because after the decision I made with Jacob, then on the next weekend, Luke basically texted me, hey, what's going on next season? I was like, what do you mean? I mean, we have maybe an open spot. And it went really quick, because I know who I get. I get a veteran quarterback, which we need in Frankfurt. I need a grown-up quarterback. And like I said, I think his skill set is different than Jacob's, but in football, and that's the beauty, you can win in many different ways. And next year, the offense will be different, hopefully with a lot of big plays, a lot of long touchdowns to Markel. And that's what we try to look for.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, you got the personnel for those big plays, obviously with Markel Castle, one of the biggest name on offense last year. And then Luke, I mean, a great guy, like really well loved throughout the European football community. Obviously done a bunch of great stuff down in Italy. So I'm super excited to see what you guys do in Frankfurt this year. We would love to keep talking to you. Sadly, we have to cut it short today because of our sound issues, sadly, but really great talking to you, Coach, and good luck for 2024 for the Frankfurt Galaxy, man.
Hey, love to come back, and thanks for having me. Sorry for the problems.
All good. Turns out
it's all right. No worries.
great. Thanks, Coach.
We'll definitely bring you back.